The first time I watched the footage, I thought it was a glitch. Lana was standing in the living room at 2:17 in the morning, just standing there. She wasn't moving. She wasn't sleepwalking. She was staring at the corner of the room, as if someone stood there, and then she smiled. But it wasn't her smile. I've known that smile for years. I've seen it on our wedding day, during cold mornings with coffee, during soft laughter at night. But the smile I saw in that video, it wasn't meant for me. She whispered something. I couldn't hear it clearly at first. I turned out the volume. "I missed you," she said. I paused the video. My heart raced. Who was she talking to? The next night I waited. At 2:17, I checked our bedroom. She was gone. I crept downstairs quietly. She wasn't in the kitchen. Then I heard the sound, soft static. I followed it to the living room. Her phone was on the floor. The screen still glowing. The camera app was open, still recording. But Lana wasn't there. I picked it up and watched what it had just captured. The screen was filled with shadow, a shape that hovered just out of focus. And Lana's voice whispering, calmly, gently, "I know you're close." Then, silence. I rushed to the front door. Locked, I turned to the hallway. And she was there, standing in the dark, eyes open, that same smile on her face. And she whispered to me, "You weren't supposed to see that." The next morning, Lana acted normal. She made breakfast, asked how I slept, kissed me on the cheek, as if the night before never happened. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. That smile, that sentence, "You weren't supposed to see that." When she left for work, I rushed to the living room and pulled the footage from the security system. It was there, the same moment, 2:17 a.m. Lana walking downstairs, staring at the same corner, speaking in a whisper. But this time, the video didn't end there. She turned slowly. Her eyes rolled upward until only the whites showed. She reached toward the camera and softly said, "He's waking up." Then the screen glitched. The camera lost connection for exactly 33 seconds. When it returned, Lana was gone. But something else had moved. The lamp in the corner had shifted, just a little, turned toward the hallway, as if it had been pushed. I checked the live feed. The lamp was still facing that direction. But now, the hallway looked longer, like the walls had stretched just slightly, like the house had grown teeth it had never shown before. That night I pretended to sleep, waited until 2:10. Lana lay beside me, breathing slowly, peacefully, but at exactly 2:17, her eyes opened. She sat up without making a sound, didn't look at me, didn't blink. She stood and walked out of the room, her bare feet making no noise. I followed from a distance. She went into the basement. I'd never seen her go down there before. The stairs creaked behind me as I stepped down after her, but she didn't flinch. She stood in the dark, facing the wall, and whispered something I'll never forget. "You said I could stay. You promised. He doesn't have to know." I couldn't breathe. I backed up, but the stair behind me wasn't there anymore. The wood had vanished beneath my foot. I fell into blackness, then light. I was back upstairs. The clock on the wall read 2:17 a.m. and Lana was right behind me, staring at the back of my head, smiling. I couldn't tell what was real anymore. The footage, the shadows, the way time kept bending around to 17 a.m. It was like the house was folding itself into that exact moment again and again. I stopped sleeping. I started watching every night the same. Lana would walk to the corner, whisper, smile, but now I wasn't just watching her. The footage began watching me. The camera angles shifted. The feed would pan slightly toward the hallway where I stood. And once I saw myself in the background. I wasn't holding the camera, I wasn't moving, I was smiling, and I swear, I blinked at the exact moment I blinked on screen. I tore the cameras down that morning, ripped out the wiring, crushed the drives. But that night, at 2:17, I woke up to see Lana sitting on the bed, staring at the ceiling, mouth slightly open, not breathing. I touched her shoulder, cold. She turned slowly and said with a voice that wasn't hers, "He's not inside the cameras anymore." I staggered back. She laid back down as if nothing had happened. And the power went out. Total darkness. But the glow of a screen lit up the hallway. My laptop, it was open, playing footage I never recorded. A new room, one I didn't recognize. Someone was walking into frame, bare feet, pale skin. And then I realized it was my own body walking through a door I had never seen before. At the bottom of the frame, a time stamp blinked. 2:17 a.m. I slammed the laptop shut, ran to the hallway. That door wasn't there, but Lana was standing at the end. Hair wet, clothes dripping, as if she'd been outside in the rain. But it hadn't rained in days, she whispered. "He's waiting." And then, for the first time, I felt a hand on my back. There was no one behind me, but I could feel each finger. I packed a bag before the sun came up. I didn't care where I went, just away from that house. From her. From 2:17. But the clocks didn't agree. Every device I looked at, my phone, the microwave, even the old wristwatch I hadn't worn in years, they all showed the same time. To 17 a.m. over and over, as if the world was stuck in that 1 minute, as if he had pulled me inside it. I drove for hours, or maybe minutes. Time didn't feel real anymore. I stopped at a rundown roadside motel, paid cash, no ID, no trace. I turned off my phone. blocked every mirror, sat in silence. But silence isn't safe anymore. At 2:17 a.m. the TV turned on. I didn't touch the remote. It played a live Feed My House living room. Lana, sitting in the dark, her head tilted toward the ceiling, her lips moving slowly. Then the camera panned, though there was no one to move it. It faced the hallway, and a figure was standing there. Not Lana, not Mita, empty no face, just a mouth grinning. The screen flickered, then changed. Now it showed my motel room, me sitting on the bed, and behind me Lana. I turned. She wasn't there, but the air was cold, heavy. I heard her voice behind my ear, soft and wet, like a breath from the grave. "You left too late." Then the door creaked open. No footsteps, just the smell of rotting flowers. A shape stepped through. Tall, silent shadow, swallowing shadow. I couldn't move. He didn't walk. He slid through the floor, the walls, the light. And just before the TV went black, I saw Lana's reflection in the glass, smiling at me and mouthing one final word: "Forever."